Hi, hello everybody. I hope we are staying safe. Yeah, we are all in, I know, a crazy state of thinking about when is COVID gonna end, right? We hope soon. And I just want to say season's greetings to y'all. And I hope, um, you know, we've had enough of this year and moving forward, things would be better. So many bad things has happened this year to many of us, to a lot of people. We have lost loved ones. We have cried so many tears. We have been sick, and so much that a lot of people, you know, aren't talking about because it's so overwhelming. Well, uh, good things have also happened. We gave birth. We brought life into this world. Some of us even made it through to getting jobs. Some of us started our own businesses. Some of us, saw the brighter side of it for being alive. So, Alhamdulillah, we thank God for every situation that we're in, and we just pray that our situation gets better day by day. Um, of course, I'm kind of smiling underneath the mask, but you cannot see it because this is our new way of living, right? Just to stay alive and stay, healthy. So keep your mask on. So, really quick short story. Um, Today, even though it's a sad one, but today I learned a few vital lessons from a friend who I was just told had passed on. Apparently, she died 2 weeks ago. I never knew, but today they told me. Um, and it's hard not to say that I'm angry at them for not telling me sooner because, we messaged often and we talked about mental health, stress, depression, so on and so forth. She was a girl who was very quiet. She wasn't like loud, so to say, as I am. But we all have our personalities. But me and her, enjoyed each other's advices and company and rants when we needed to. So she was a friend, and I'm sad that she's gone. But um, she once told me a story about how, when she got married and she was being abused by her husband, and she thought it was okay. For her, it was just another day in her life, and it was just normal. And it took her a while to understand that it wasn't okay. It took a while to understand that she was really being abused. And she finally got the strength to up and leave her husband. And she had like 2 kids with him. So, what happened to her as a child was that she lived with an uncle when her parents passed away when she was little. So she lived with her uncle, and her uncle would constantly abuse her and her brother. He would constantly abuse her, beat her, molested her, did all sorts of, crazy things that an uncle or an adult shouldn't do to a child. She faced that. So for her, she said she always woke up in the morning after doing her chores and she sat down by, his door. And when he would come out, she would hand him the rod or cane or bulala as we call it in Hausa, waiting for her to be beaten. So it was a normal routine for her. The first time she told me that, I was so distressed. I was I couldn't breathe, because how do you think it's okay as a child, because you were being abused every day, that it's a normal thing, right? But to her, it was normal. But her older brother always got in the way between her and her uncle. One day he had enough, she said, and he got in and he told her uncle not to touch his sister again. So, saying that he, was a young teenager, she said he was about 16. He manned up. He got the courage. He was tired of seeing his sister being beaten. So one day, he hit his uncle. He punched his uncle. So the attention stopped from, both of them being beaten, to just her brother taking the beating for both of them. So he stopped hitting her. He stopped hitting her, and he started hitting him, like, until he made sure he had scars. Her brother had scars all over his face, like lifelong scars. Up till today, he still has those scars. I know him. And I'm sure he has internal scars as well. Of course, for a lot of us who know what GBV is, we have that scars. But she had said, like, when he would beat him, and because he didn't want them to be going around from one family to another, and nobody would take them in their family. And you guys know, like, in Nigeria, we don't have a system where we have social workers, or where they can go for safety, a safe house or whatever. We don't have that. So they just maintained and stayed where they were being abused. So of course, she grew up thinking that, a man abusing her is okay. So when she got married, the guy her uncle married her off to, was a drug addict, and he abused her every night, starting from the day she got married, until the day she left. He had left her with an arm, just one arm, because he had made sure he broke one of her arm, that it had to be cut off. And her brother, even though he was defending his sister, but he grew psychologically, not okay. And unfortunately, he was abusing his wife, like beating his wife too. So, but he did not know that, he was actually, abusing her. So he really, really, really thought it was okay. He really thought it was okay. So until he came, last time I spoke to him, he said until he came and started getting therapy here in the US, he got a job here, he settled here. Of course, he and his he divorced the wife that, he was hitting. He was like at a point, they had forced him to divorce her. He did, even though he still loved her, but he was okay to divorce her, because he said he would hit her, and he didn't like the way he hit her. He would go and cry and be in a depressive state after he did what he had done, because to him, he knew not to hit her, but then when it came, he did, and that's the trauma behind what happened to them as kids. So when he came here, he started getting therapy. He started, going for meetings, and he did all he could to get counseled. Luckily for him, he brought his sister down here too, and she got remarried here, and and unfortunately, she married somebody again who was abusing her. So for her, it was like no luck. He tried so much to see that she wasn't meeting up. It wasn't like meeting up with bad spouses, but for some reason, those were the kind of character that kept coming to her. And even though he said he didn't want her to marry him, she went ahead and married him, but she was an adult. And at first he seemed okay, but for him, he saw one red flag, and people around him said it was just one red flag, and everybody has it. Um, the way that he will stalk her when she's out or at work or whatever, he was stalking her. Um, that was the husband, the second husband that was abusing her. He was stalking her. So her brother, saying that she was being stalked so much by him, said that was a bad red flag for him. He wasn't stalking her in a good way. He was stalking her in a jealous way, so much so that even before they got married, he would yell at her. So he didn't want that for his sister, but he can't force her to do what she doesn't want, of course. So she got into that bad marriage, and her thinking like, okay, how could this handsome man who has a job and everything want me with just one arm? So she went ahead and married him, and that's how her life pretty much went down the hill, because she thought it was okay, and she never said anything. But at a point, she started talking to me, and I told her that wasn't okay. It's a circle for her. She's going round in one circle, and she needed to get therapy. She was so against therapy. In fact, she was so against her brother, talking to somebody about his mental health. The point to my story, and she died in this situation, the point to my story is that do not be shy to go seek for help. Do not be shy to speak up and say, I have issues and I need somebody to talk to, and I need, I need ways to help me cope with my depression, with my mental health, with my trauma. It helps. It keeps you alive, actually. It helps. Trust me, it helps. So do not be afraid. Be you woman, be you man, be you, and child. Be in a situation where you can, it's okay for you to seek help. For many people, it's hard. For societies, a lot of societies like mine, it's stigmatized. So we need to unstigmatize it and make it okay. Make it, normal. Let it be normal that people say, oh, hey, I need help. My mental health is not okay. I'm really not okay. It's a lot going on in people's lives. It's a lot going on. And, you can pray and pray and pray, which helps. It helps. It helped me. But then at a point in time, and I knew I needed to talk to, I knew I needed to talk to somebody. It's a stage where when you talk to somebody, you're relieved. It doesn't take what happened to you away, but you're relieved that you're not the only one in it, that somebody recognizes your pain and your hurt. So please, people, speak up about mental health, speak up about GBV, gender-based violence, speak up and talk to somebody really soon. Don't let it linger on all your life till it takes your life or till you're suicidal. These things are real. They are not a joke. They are not movies. They are real. They are real. A lot of things you see in life, one day you're okay, and then, something might happen that triggers those memories, those things that happened to you in the past, and that's not okay. That's not okay, because when you don't talk to somebody, it stays in. You might just go make a mistake about behaving like the person who abused you, because you think it's okay. So speak up, and trust me, it's a relief when you do. Okay? With this, I say, let's keep sharing stories, and let's keep let's keep each other at heart, and let's see each other as humans before seeing each other as not okay or sick or whatever. Okay? I love you guys. Bye-bye.